So I've been thinking about it. Is Force like even good? Like a lot of the programs that come out of Force, like the only one I can think of that's actually good is Blender. That's the only one. Tell me any other program that's really good that's GUI. That's what I mean. Like what I notice is that GUI programs that are Force just tend to be bad. I was about to swear a bit, but you already know God's always watching. But like terminal programs such as like Vim, like those are good. Like Vim, Emacs, is Emacs terminal? I don't even know. I don't really use Emacs like that. But you know, this classic, you know, DWM, dmenu, I don't know, like those kind of programs that are Force are good. Whereas when it comes to GUI, it just tends to be bad. Blender's genuinely the only one. And I've used Blender. Blender's actually, because, you know, it's kind of had like a 3D modeling phase of my life. But genuinely overall, like, I get that, you know, Force is nice, you know, like, oh, free, yay, like, you know, we get, you know, we don't have to pay and, you know, all this nice stuff, privacy, I get it, I agree, I actually agree, you know, ideally, everything should be like that. But people need to get paid, people need to feed their families, and, you know, it's hard when it's like, okay, you know, just develop everything for free, and it, you know, programming is magic. It's literally magic. Like, if you know how to program, you're a magician. To 99% of people, 99% of people, you are literally a magician. You know, you type words and then boom, you just create magic. So it's hard to literally have magic powers and then be like, oh, I'm just going to do it for free because I'm a nice guy. Like, come on, like pay me a bit. You know, people could be like, oh, well, donations, but come on, bro, like, donations doesn't allow you to have like a 10 child household. Like if that's, you know, that's the kind of wave I'm on. Like I want to have like a wife, ranch, 10 kids, maybe a couple dogs, you know, like donations ain't gonna pay that. But yeah, for example, like I just got back into uni and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna take some notes because I was kind of stupid. I just didn't take any notes. I'm like, I can get by. I mean, you can, but it's just a bit harder. So I'm like, you know, I'm gonna take a bit of notes, you know, probably helps, and I decided to use Notion. So let me just show you. I started using Notion on the left, and I'm like, you know what, I know Notion is not a Force program, may as well try Force alternative and see how good it is compared to it. And here we have AppFlowy, and look, I want to like AppFlowy, but Notion's just better. I mean, to be honest, okay, let's look at this. This is such a 1-for-1 copy. It genuinely is. But Notion's just better. So, for example, we have this set up. And, you know, when you're typing, so let's say I'm like, you know, I'm getting really into the flow state. Boom, everything disappears. That's so nice. Like, I can't lie. That's just very nice. Like, when you're really typing, you don't care about anything else. You just want to, like, type. Whereas, I don't think it does it here. Yeah, like, it's not designed for Zen. You know, you could argue, oh, well, you know, you don't need it. But generally, like, if it helps you be more productive, get more into that Zen flow, then you must say that therefore, the Force app is actually worse for productivity than the non-Force, like the closed source program. So that's one. Number two, it's just, look, pretty animations. It's hard. Like, I know, like, I think people in the Linux community kind of find, oh, bro, that's gay. Like, why do you care about, like, just pretty animations? Just care about what's inside. Don't care about the looks. Like, I think that's the kind of wave that most Linux users are on. But look, I like a pretty face. I genuinely like a pretty face. And when I'm like just, you know, typing and it, you know, disappears, and, you know, when let's say like I add some lines, you know, when I scroll, the scrolling is smooth. Bro, look at wait, let me add the same, like, the scrolling is just, it's actually, bro, why is it doing that? Like, I don't know, it's just, yeah, like, look, genuinely, that's the reason why it takes so much longer to develop a good Force app, because, I don't know if you heard this, is that, Szapa?
Van-e még?
Nem.
Most viccelsz.
Viccelek.
Ja, az kizárólag, hogy neked te ilyen gyorsalatban. Ja, no.
You know what they say in, like, the last 10% of work is where 90% of the work goes. The main idea to develop an app isn't usually that hard. Like, I've developed many programs now. I've done like web apps, that kind of stuff. Usually the main idea isn't super complex, but it's those little fine details that are very hard to just like develop. Like it's just like, about adjusting the container and like all that kind of stupid stuff. But furthermore, I think, Notion just does a better job at like organizing ideas. So for example, here I've got a YouTube ideas page. You can see it right here. So I've got a YouTube ideas page, and my uni's kind of set up like in a similar way. So I've got the page idea, and then I've got, smaller pages of like for the main channel, for the second channel, this is just an example. I can click on this, boom, it brings me here. I could have like build a computer, and within that I could actually have like another page on how to build a computer. I'm like, okay, first buy parts, build PC. So this kind of structure, I don't know, I just feel like it's very, I don't know, it's just good. I think it's a good way to do it. You can go back, I want to go back for the second channel, how to create a web app, yada yada. You just can't do that, They actually copied like the plus sign and like everything, but they didn't add the page, or at least maybe I'm wrong, create a new grid. I don't know. They didn't add that, unfortunately. I don't know why. So they got the AI response, it's cool, but, for example, I can't put the side and then it just opens. You gotta actually click on it, small button. You can click on it here as well, or you could just like hover and just boom, like it knows. So, look, overall, I get like some people are gonna be like, no me, like why are you using Notion? But it's just good. It's just good. Like if there was apps that were as good or better, technically like the most ideal would be like a Vim combination. I guess some people are like, oh, it doesn't have Vim binds. I don't care, like if it does, that's cool, but it's not the end of the world if it doesn't. But the problem is like Vim is genuinely like it's too simple where you can't put images, you can't do like crazy LaTeX equations just like that. And maybe you could say, oh well, you can do that in Markdown / LaTeX, but then you type it and then you have to compile it. I'm not trying to compile it, I just kind of want to have it there, like how I showed you before, like the headings there, it's all sorted. I can just like immediately do it. I can see what I'm editing as I'm editing, you know what I mean? So that's the most ideal in my opinion. Like I was thinking about it as well, like in my notes right here, is that CAD software. The CAD software that is FOSS is just bad. I used Fusion 360 when I was younger, I was making these 3D printing projects at school and all that. And I remember not too long ago, I was just bored at home. This was, after I graduated, I'm like, I'm going to try FreeCAD. I just want to try FOSS version. It was just bad. I couldn't figure it out. It's not even like Fusion 360 is so like intuitive compared to it. It just makes sense. Where I think even like a baby could figure it out. Whereas FreeCAD is just bad. And even LibreCAD, I never tried it, but look, from what I heard, it's not that much better or anything. It's not like people are like, whoa, LibreCAD is insane. Like, you have to use it. Nah, it's just, sure, it's bloated, but it works. And sometimes you kind of have to accept the bloat for high efficiency. Because, yeah, you'll be installing all this stuff that you might not even be using ever. But the alternative is that when you're working and suddenly you need to do something that you've never done before, it's just a very specific thing. You have to download all this stuff and patch it and stuff. Like, imagine DWM if, like, you had to do one thing once. Like, it was not like a setup. It's not like a workspace, but you had to do it once and you had to patch it in. It's a nightmare. You can't work like that. You need to have everything available. And sure, some tools you're not going to use all the time. But when, like, think about, like, your car breaking down. You're not always going to be using that one specific tool to, like, change off the tire or whatever. But when, you need to. It's as simple as that. You can't just be like, oh, well, it's bloated, so I'm going to get rid of it. And I'm only going to buy it when I need it. Well, when you actually need it, you can't drive to buy it. You know what I mean? Like, does that analogy make sense? So it's kind of like that. Obviously, there's levels to it. Not everything is going to be like that. And, I get it. I already can hear you typing in the comments. But genuinely, like, if it's not a command line if it's not like a terminal program, it just sucks. It just really sucks, I'm going to be honest. And that's just my opinion. Cancel me, do whatever, berate me. But that's my opinion. So ideally, I understand the benefit of FOSS and privacy, this and that. And I'm in agreements, d'accordo. But still, freemium and closed source software just is better. But most of the time, it's just better. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, it helps me out. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.